DEA was going to come after you for smoking, the first thing it would do is it would make it really cool to kids. We'd have a black market tobacco. There would be tobacco probably manufactured in Mexico or some other country and imported. They'd find their way. We know what works fighting tobacco. Smoking bans in public places. High tobacco taxes, cessation programs, and education. And banning tobacco advertising.
What would happen if we used the same approach Patrick Reynolds described, succeeding with cigarettes, and applied that to all drugs? That approach was tried in Portugal, which had a huge drug problem, and the effort crushed the black market. NBC sent reporters to study the drop in addiction and abuse rates among teens.
So have you ever used hashish?
No, never.
Why not?
It's bad for us. It's bad for us.
Portuguese Prime Minister José Sócrates was one of the architects of the new policy and has some advice for the rest of us.
Julgo que esta estratégia funciona em todos os países.
I think the strategy can work in any country. You just need to rid yourselves of prejudice and take an intelligent approach.
Even America's current drug czar admits that law enforcement isn't the answer to drugs.
If you read the research, you clearly and you quickly come to realize that addiction is a disease. I think for too long we probably thought that we could either arrest our way out of the problem or solve it through some criminal justice lens. And I think we know from past history that that is not the case.
Critics call the war on drugs the single greatest public policy failure of the last 50 years.
DEA don't want the drug problem to stop. District attorneys don't want the drug problem to stop. Presidents don't want the drug problem to stop. They're pushing it on, and you know it's ridiculous. The only person is paying is the taxpayers.
Freeway Rick Ross and Brian O'Day continue to give inspirational speeches on the dangers of addiction and the failures of prohibition.
I was sentenced to 10 years. Within an hour and a half, I'd met guys in there who were doing 75 years for pot. One of these guys has since died in prison, and the other guy's gonna die in prison. But I got the government selling me cigarettes in there for 50 cents a pack. Doesn't make sense, does it? Didn't to me. Didn't to me.
Bobby Carlton, now clean for over a decade, runs a sober living house in Los Angeles and helps other addicts get clean.